Right, hello, and welcome to my new video. Today in this video, we're going to basically expanding the railway. Also, by the way, I just want to say this, I've managed to pull this in. I got some bricks, actually managed to find some clay as I was building more of the railway. But yeah, today, what we will be doing is we'll be expanding the railway all the way to the old Alpha base or location, spawn location, whatever you want to call it. The Alpha, the Alpha House. I don't know the good word for it. By the way, I do want to say this. I do actually have someone to put over there, but we'll do it later. And I will just turn down the music for now. But I do actually have someone to add over that like comment or whatever. And they actually. Oh wait, there's a creeper there. Oh, that just spooked me. Anyway, so let me just do that. I know I was gonna go all the way over there, but actually I do need to make the plant split. And this guy, this person, there's a few people actually. One commented, and it was a long time ago now, so he probably has forgotten all about it. But I decided, I'm gonna give him him maybe as a higher, but I'm gonna give them a shout out. The other person, well, there's a few people, and I don't know who they are, but they really like cryptocurrencies. I don't know if it's like a group of people and they're working together or whatever. But as you can see, there's Jaleid, there's my fiance, that's Chad Champion, there's a guy that was making uploading streams, there's Brazil Primeiro, that's how you say in Portuguese, is Brazil Primeiro. That's how you said it. Brazil Primeiro. There we go. Anyway, so these three people, Brazil Primeiro, by the way, he got a video that had the most views on WePlay.fun, by the way. So go over there and you can see that his video is still the largest viewed video so far. But today, what I will be adding is some new people. And these new people, they're quite funny, to be honest. They're quite funny. But I will just get the name up, and the guy is called Covey Game. Covey-Gamer 123. The second person is called Optcoin Daily. Now these people, they have a YouTube channel. I don't know if it's the same people, but I have noticed they do have a YouTube channel. It's close to over 2. These people have been one of the highest growing accounts in terms of subscribers, and they've been uploading almost every day. So I just decided, I'm going to shout out them. The other person is called Willie. I don't know how you say it. It's Portuguese though. If you don't know, there's a lot of Brazilians that use WePlay. So I don't know if this is a Brazilian name or whatever, but there's it's a girl actually, and she is called Williani _ 244. I have actually talked to them in the past, and I don't know if it's actually it may be a fan account for someone like that. I don't know if it's a fan account for someone called Williani or if that's the name of the person running it. I don't know. But that person also did very well, has uploaded a few videos, and yeah, they've managed to get a lot of subscribers. So thank you to Covey Gamer 123. He got the first comment in one of the videos. Altcoin Daily, Crypto Rover, Williani 244, believe 244 means growl, so make it into growl. Growl is like BMX, if you don't know. But anyway, thank you to all these people. And if you want to be added, just be active on the Replay website. The link will be in the description down below. Or what you can do is you can comment on one of the videos that I made, and maybe I'll add you to the comment chat garden. I say I don't know. I say comment garden, comment wall, shout garden. It's a work in progress name. We'll figure it out as we go along. If we're gonna get so many Brazilians, if we're gonna get so many Brazilians, maybe I think of like a Portuguese name because that's that's literally all we're getting. Well, apart from the crypto people, is Brazilians. So maybe I'll make it something like Parede de Amigos. There's a Parede de Amigos. I don't know. Parede de Amigos. That the friends wall. The friends wall. I don't know. If you have a bad suggestion, put in the comments down below, and I may add you to the whatever we call that. anyway, let's continue on and continue on some new routes, making this tunnel. And by the way, I want to say this about replay. I don't know if it is because of that Liliani account or what, but there's been a lot of Brazilians join. A lot of Brazilians join. Ever since they decided to that Liliani account decided to join. Like, there's been like thousands, like literally thousands of people. I don't know if they're all Brazilian, but there have been a lot of people that have joined, and I think I need to. We got torches. Why did I not bring torches with me? God damn it. Anyway, so basically what we have to do is get torches. Great. But anyway, so basically, yeah, there's been so many people joining the website. And, on the website, it auto-subscribes to me. There is a bug, sometimes it will do to some random member, but I have made it so it auto-subscribes to me only. I believe it doesn't auto-subscribe to anyone else, because I feel I was testing a feature at one point that it would like you can choose the subscribers. I didn't know how to do that at the time, so they decided, well, how about just subscribe to the fastest growing YouTube channels and then give them some traffic instead. But it broke, so it can. I don't know if I think I fixed it, but now it just won't subscribe you to anyone else but me. So yeah, but I've seen all the notifications and all that. It's crazy. All the notifications saying this guy subscribed to your channel, this guy subscribed to your channel. And admittedly, I think some of them just want to promote their own stuff. That's okay. As I said before, you can do anything. I know and I'm British, by the way, so I know there is the online safety law. I just want to say this about that, the online safety law that's come into place. I will comply with it, in terms of like, if you can upload anything you want, but if you upload anything as A+, well, it won't be viewable in the United Kingdom. It just won't be viewable. You can't view it in the United Kingdom. So that's the first thing. The second thing is obviously when it comes down to it, I don't believe that the online safety law is that at all. It's morally right to actually go along with the act without doing something. So I'm doing it as like malicious compliance in a way. So I'm gonna comply, but it's still gonna be there, and I'm not gonna do like mandatory age verification. And all I'm gonna do is say if it's A+, you can't view it in the United Kingdom. So I comply with, I guess, some of it, but the mandatory age requirements, that's impossible for me to do, and plus I don't want to do that. I think a lot of people, they like to be anonymous on the internet, and whether that's good or bad, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes people can stay anonymous, and you just have to you just have to be okay with it, and if you're not okay with it, then I really want to know why. Because, it's like, what one thing is this, right? It's like they say, well, it's trolls, well, there's bad things on the internet. Oh, we're protecting children. Okay, if you're protecting children, then you know who should be protecting the children? Not you, but the parents. The parents should be protecting the children, not the government. The government, what do you mean? Like there are literal case law that standardizes what is called parental responsibility and parental rights. Right? This is a legal thing. This is something that is in law about parental responsibility, and it goes in depth about how parents have a responsibility to their kids. But with this, it gives the kids, like, in a way, it gives the kids over to the state in a way, and that is just obscene to me. I don't understand it. So yeah, that's basically my take on it. Some people may disagree, but I just don't like wrong. If you disagree with me, I think you're wrong. I say the law is a joke, because it will be bypassed by VPNs and all that. And if these MPs try to regulate VPNs, then they're gonna be unelected. There will be, like, and it'll be repealed. And the Reform Party is doing very well. The Reform Party is actually doing so well, in fact, that they could even get a majority in the next parliament. Imagine that. Labour won a landslide only last year, and then what, 4 years' time, we could be seeing a majority government for reform. I mean, in the 90s, obviously Labour won that, and Conservatives couldn't even win it for basically 13 years. 1997, Labour won. 2010, Labour lost to the Conservatives, but the Conservatives didn't even get a majority. It got a minority. So, I'm sorry, I saw that cat just fall off the cliff. But it's like, Labour's probably going to lose the entire election. It's because of their own doing. It's because of their own incompetence and arrogance, maybe, and just maybe a lack of foresight. And I don't know why they why do they want to, do these laws? Is it really because of protecting the children? I don't even know, because the children don't want this law. The adults don't want this law. No one wants the law. At some point you have to think of, like, what do the children want? Because that is, again, in law, that is something that does matter. Who protects the children and who is the guardian of the child? Well, the voice of the child becomes a lot more important as they get older, and when they become like 10, I think. When they become 10, they have actually got some self-sovereignty over their own rights. As before, they don't really. So, and it grows as with age. For example, a 15-year-old has much more say in their own life than a 10-year-old. A 9-year-old has no say, a 10-year-old has some say, but 15-year-olds have a lot of say, and then a 17-year-old has basically almost as much say as an adult. But then there are some exceptions and over the age, but only in some circumstances. Very slim, rare circumstances would it be over the age of 18. But even then, when you become 18, you become an adult and you have the right to vote and all that. And you have the right to pay taxes. It's only a right. It's a mandatory thing. But you have the right to work and all that. You have every right to do all the things that you are able to do. And you have the right to drive and all that. So, yeah. But the thing is, right, it's like, you look at it this way, it's like, well, okay, if these children, teenagers, don't want it, and they're saying, we don't want this, right, for whatever reason, 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 14-year-olds. But then they can also choose they can choose which parent looks after them. They can say, I don't want to see my father, I don't want to see my mother. But then they can't go on the internet. It's like, oh, well, they have to verify their age. And, I just want to say this. We all know how algorithms are. They always get things wrong. They always ban people for no reason. And, that's the problem. It's like, when you have automated systems or whatever, they can be wrong. I've I've had to deal with it myself, and it's not to do with anything 18 plus. It was literally there's a website called Twitter, and they've basically banned anything to do with anything 18 plus. But it's also doing bans to even things that aren't 18 plus, because automation can't figure out the difference between what is and what isn't 18 plus. So it could be cartoon violence, for example. Okay, well, cartoon violence isn't violence, but the automated algorithm thinks it is. So it's saying, well, you need to verify your age. Well, it says on Twitter, it says, well, according to local laws, we can't show you this content, because I don't think anyone else wants to actually abide by the law. So just, is preventing that from happening. Like me. Now, I did a risk assessment, obviously. I've done all the things for that, but it's all because, what? It's all malicious compliance. I'm not doing the mandatory age checks. You'll never see me doing that. If you did, then, well, you can use a different platform, because I'm never going to force you to put your ID there, because the government thinks either you are too young or you are too... I don't know why it is, because it's not even about nudity. It could be about politics. It could be about anything. What is the government actually clarifying what 18 plus means, and how would that be interpreted by social media, is going to be very different depending on the platform. For me, it'll be like nudity, which is fair enough. Fair enough for me if I want to make 18 plus, which I was doing. If you upload anything on the website as nudity, you have to make 18 plus. If you don't, it'll be first made 18 plus. Second, after the fact, if it's not, if you change it back to being a regular video, then, well, you get banned. Your entire account will be banned. So you can still upload it, but you can't. What you can't do is you can't make it not 18 plus. That was alright. That was fair enough. I didn't need the government to tell me that. I didn't need the government to tell me you had to do this. But now the government's telling me to do this. So I'm only doing what you want me to do. Well, I don't know. It's silly. Honestly, it's silly. But I've done what I had to do. But I really think when it comes to mandatory age checks, this is one thing I would say. If you're Telegram, if you're Instagram, if you're any of these platforms, and you're actually doing mandatory age checks, then how dare you? Listen, compliance only works if you comply. Which is, and I know that sounds like the most trite thing in the world. I'm gonna say oh yeah, if one person stands up and says no, then everyone else will stand up and say no. It's that simple. I'm not going to do mandatory age checks. So is everyone else going to start doing it? No. But the thing is, is that it does matter if, for example, a bunch of American companies, or big tech American companies, say, listen, we're not going to allow this on our platforms. At least if it's a requirement. If it's a requirement, then we will allow it. It's not in the best interest of our platform's users. And that this could affect even international users if, let's say, a platform can't implement geo blocks or whatever. They have to do it internationally. This is going to affect a lot of people. So at the App Store, on Apple or wherever, because they we're not going to comply. Um, and it goes into more depth. And it's like at that point, if all the apps and all the social medias are saying, "Well, we're not going to comply with this," then you have an issue. Then you have basically ineffective compliant, ineffective compliance, basically negligible, and the law is new. It's like all them laws that from like 300 years ago that don't really matter today, but for some reason they're still on the books. It's like that. It's like that, and it's like you can't. I think it's simple. Like you can't wear a knight's armor in Parliament or something. You can't die in Parliament. It's one of the two. Or if you, if you handle a fish suspiciously, that's a crime. Yeah, it's stuff like that. That stuff is not enforced anymore because it's silly. Anyway, I need to get some out. But yeah, it's just this is the thing. The entire whole law is silly, and it's going to end in disaster for the government. It really will. I just don't see it ever succeeding. I just don't. Either big tech's not going to allow it, or some other, maybe a country just doesn't. Maybe countries start sanctioning us if they start banning VPNs or whatever. I mean, that could happen. That could definitely happen. I mean, if the government tries to escalate, then companies will have to escalate, and eventually it'll become a whole thing. And eventually there will have to be some new restrictions on VPNs or bans or whatever. So yeah, that's just really it, to be honest. But yeah, what we'll do, I guess we'll end the video here. It's been good talking about this whole thing. Also, yeah, if you want to go on that Bridge Amigos, just obviously, all you need to do is make a comment or be active when we play, and if you have a good account that's playing very well, then yeah, that'll be great. You'll be able to get on the Pledge Amigos. But anyway, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.